Aural Trainer, recognizing the style and period of a piece of music for Grade 5 ABRSM Aural. The four main periods which you will be expected to identify are Baroque, Classical, Romantic and Modern, and each of them have distinguishing characteristics which you will learn in this video. Baroque music was very elaborate. Often with many ornaments, the melodies would be difficult to sing or memorize, and the harmony was created by individual voices conversing with each other, known as polyphonic harmony. Because Baroque music was originally for the harpsichord and not the piano, the dynamic range is not as great as in later periods. And also the keyboard was shorter, so very high or very low notes were not possible. Regarding dynamics, these tended to be terraced, that is to say that crescendos and decrescendos were not used. There were more sudden changes in dynamics. Classical music, on the other hand, was much more refined and simple. The melodies could be easily remembered and sung, and the harmonies were generally made by a tune with simple accompaniment, known as homophonic harmony. Phrases were clearly defined and regular. The idea of crescendo and diminuendo also came into use during the classical period. In the Romantic period, melodies were still singable and easily memorable, but the intensity of emotion was much greater. Harmonies became richer, texture thicker, and the dynamic range much wider. The tempo was much freer, and the use of the sustain pedal was now very prevalent in this period. And finally, modern music, that is 20th and 21st century music, is easily recognized by its discordant use of harmony. That said, 20th century music also includes jazz and impressionism, the latter being the style of composers such as Debussy, in which the music often has a blurry, misty feel, giving an impression of something rather than a dramatic picture of that thing. Here now are 5 extracts, and see if you can identify, with reasons, from which period each one comes. This extract comes from the 20th century. You should have noticed the bluesy melody and harmony, giving it a jazz style. The piece is actually called jazzy. The end section particularly features swing rhythms and is more discordant than one would find in previous periods of music. This extract is from the classical period, where a simple melody with homophonic harmony is used. There are very regular and clearly defined phrases, and dynamics also were graduated rather than terraced. This extract comes from the Romantic period. The melody is more emotionally intense. Harmonies and textures are richer. There is frequent use of pedal, and the tempo is very free, with the music exploring a wider dynamic range. This extract is from the Baroque period. There is frequent use of ornaments. The writing is polyphonic, with elaborate melodies and terraced dynamics. The practice of separated notes in the bass line is also very characteristic of the Baroque era. Our final extract is also from the 20th century, although very different from the first extract. It uses discords to a very dramatic effect. You could almost imagine this music as film music. Now, you should have enough clues to help you distinguish between the different periods of music. And if you found this video useful, please like and don't forget to subscribe. And finally, if you have any other clues for other listeners how to recognize the different periods of music, please leave a comment below. Thanks for listening.